with the grant that we're getting from Horizons, we pay first and last month's rent to that unhoused LGBTQ youth for moving into an apartment. It's going to go a very long way in helping Tay youth remain housed and off the street.
We were able to provide approximately $108,000 to direct assistance aid to participants and more than 215 hygiene kits to the most needed and the most marginalized members of the trans Latinx community. Without Horizons, definitely we couldn't provide the same services that we have had until this day.
For a lot of us, San Mateo County Pride Center was home. For some, it was a second home. For many, it was their first. Because let's face it, many people don't have a home they can go home to in the pandemic. This is why this funding is so necessary, is really holding up the parts of our community that need to be lifted the most.
What we're doing with the Horizons funding throughout the pandemic has been creating programming online to foster diverse, healthy, and inclusive communities.
Isolation is clearly sort of the top problem for seniors everywhere in the pandemic. Our most recent grant from the Horizons Foundation is for our LGBTQ senior program to continue our discussion groups with seniors, and we have about 60 participants a month. We wouldn't be able to survive without Horizons' help.
The new grant from the Horizons Foundation this year is really focused on recovery. During the pandemic, we provide bi-monthly support groups of twice a month. And there was a beautiful moment where a parent it sort of clicked for her that it was really important to not dead name their child, to use the right pronouns. Family acceptance can really change the trajectory of an LGBTQ queer trans person. And so this work during the pandemic will be impactful for generations to come.
For me, a person who's formerly incarcerated is very much aware of how important the vision of what life could be like for a lot of trans people coming out of prison. And with the grant that we received from Horizon, we will continue to find safe housing structures and opportunity for trans people coming directly out of jails and prison.
We can face any barrier, any struggle, any circumstances, but we need friends, we need allies, we need support, we need to be seen. So that's the importance of organizations like Horizons. When they do fund us, they see us.
This funding is the reminder that LGBTQ community is worth investing in because we are an investment.
Having the Horizons Foundation as part of our Bay Area community is so key for all of the organizations that create this safety net for our community.
When you know people's story and they share with you, if you're in any position, you have an obligation to do something. So thank you very much, Horizon Foundation.
Hey Horizons, thank you so much.
I'd like to thank Horizons and all of its supporters.
Thank you so much, Horizons.
Thank you for choosing the housing program for this grant.
To Horizons Foundation, I would just like to extend a big thank you.
Thank you for supporting us, believing in us, and continuing to do this critical work.